Let me see. So only 9 people joined in, maybe Sunday mode. So please allow me to share my screen, Smriti, I think.
Ma'am, can you check now? I think I've done.
Yes, now I can. Yeah, perfect.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I hope you are able to see this slide. Let me put on a slideshow. So today we will be trying to learn the importance of clinical data capture, and we will be focusing on what are the different electronic data capture systems are, right? If you think about it, the data is a soul of your clinical study, because even if your planning is good, planning is good, execution by operation team is also good. Now if you are making so many errors in a collection of a data, right, we are recording incorrect readings, we are not paying attention to keep the record, our whole purpose of planning and execution will dissolve, our whole effort will go waste. Hence there is a lot of emphasis that on how electronic data should be captured. That's why, because of the technology help us a lot, right? It help us to prevent very generic errors. So that's why we are emphasizing a lot on electronic systems in our clinical studies. Now, just imagine if this data is not collected well, then how our SAS programming team or our programming team will analyze it? Basically, analysis of data. Correct? And these two teams mostly also sits in a data management team only, CDM that you call. Correct? So even if you're working in an operation or a medical writing, right? Or even these days, TMF specialist, and even your regulatory team, transparency team, correct? Even a publication team, because these days teams are split further. You must having some basic understanding of how data is collected, correct? So that now who can work in a CDM team? That is also a question sometimes. Who can flourish in CDM team? Like in a medical writing, the people who have a good writing skill, they can good medical writer, right? Similarly, the people who love to interact with the regulatory bodies, they know a lot about laws, regulation, they can sit here. Like a pharmacovigilance, especially our pharmacy student, because they have a lot of knowledge of drugs, drug classification. Me as a, you can say that life science background, I won't be having that in-depth understanding of a drug classification. What our pharma students, they are having exceptionally good understanding of drugs, their classification, their everything, right? So that's why they like, sometimes they get intrigued to PV. Now the CDM, if you have you know like understanding, you like data a lot, you like analysis also, not, I am not saying SAS or R, in general you like to play with the data, you like to play with the number, and also you like the technology part. You should think about a CDM. Now what are the things we will learn? We will learn that what is the role of data management, and I will also try to describe the life cycle, because maybe you will be land up working in operation, you may land up working in a regulatory, you should be understanding the life cycle of data management. Now especially because we are not holding a separate session, so I am bringing again and again in each session what is new in R3. because this is latest revision and you must know it when you are going for any interview or when you are working. So any class we are doing, what is the impact of R3 related to that subject I'm trying to cover, like data management, of course, data governance, metadata. Metadata is, just suppose example, I am giving a file name, right? What is the filing name I am giving? Suppose example CV, Sarab Sidhu, medical writing hashtag, something I am giving, that becomes its metadata. Recognize integrity principle, very important. In the last class I asked you, I hope you might be knowing, but today I thought I can include one slide, because if you are working on a CDM, this is non-negotiable. And I will also explain what is the EDC is electronic data capture, and how it differs from paper based. We started with, of course, paper based, but now we progressed a lot. Now even we have a AI help, right? uh, Identify modern technology, AI, e-resources, all that. Apply these concerns throughout real life. One case study. What is clinical data management? Anyone, what do you know about clinical data management? Okay, silence. All right, I am giving you one example. Even for a moment, you forget this slide, right? Forget this slide for a moment. Just imagine we are recruiting for a phase 1 patient. Consenting, I'm taking very easiest example is consenting, because all of you know. So we wanted to consent 15 adults. 15 adults means maybe you have screened 25, right? So let's keep it simple. 15 you have taken informed consent form, correct? Now you must collect the data of all these 15 participants, right? Participants. Now, as per R3, we are not calling subjects, we are calling participants. Remember this. 15 ICFs, right? Now, in these 15 ICFs, well, there will be a randomization form also. There will be, ICF form also. There will be a screening form also. There will be a vital sign check also, right? Let's consider these many. One, say example, one blood collection form also. Just keep it as simple as it. We consented 15 people. These are their 5 forms. We collected it. Now all the readings, vital sign reading, blood collection form, what is written in that, what is written in ICF, what is written in randomization form, what is written in screening form, this will become your data. This is data. Now, in a vital signs, suppose there is a doctor, he has not written in the right way, right? Suppose temperature is 97, he has mistakenly written 98, or he thought I will complete it later, or nurse will complete it, it is understood, it is obvious. No, that is not, considered correct. So you collected this, and now if you collected it on a paper, this will become paper. But now if you have collected it in a computer, that will become electronic. These days we are collecting in a computer only, so it is becoming electronic. So I'm just giving you one example. Now 15 ICF, they must be taken on a 2 month or 3 month, right? Journey. 3 month they have collected this. Now all this, initially there will be 1, then 2, then 3. Over a period of a 2 month, it total will be 15. Now this 15 collectively will become a database, because one will not be a database, right? So over a period of time, we spent 2 months, we collected all 15 ICF, it will become database. Now this database, when your CDM team will sit, you will clean it. Clean it means nothing, validate it. Clean means, suppose example, some entry is empty. ICF, one of the requirement is you will give some identity proof, right? Like in our country, Aadhaar card. So in Aadhaar card, persons noted that a patient date of birth is 1st December 1995. This is written on ICF form. But when this data management team will match, they say it is written 1st December 1996 on Aadhaar card. What this will be? This will be raised as an error, mismatch error. This is the process of cleaning the data. I hope you understand. So they will raise it a query, from a database like that. Another example I can give you, suppose example, we have written here 18 to 60 years old. But maybe someone didn't check. Only one day was difference. This person is becoming over 61. So this database at the time of cleaning and validation, it will be flagged out. So this is how the light now once this is cleaned and flagged, this will go for analysis. SAS team will do the analysis. Then your medical writing will write CSR. That is the journey. So here is your investigator side. You will be having EDC system. EDC system, nothing in a computer, different forms like screening form, randomization form, blood collection form, vital sign form. They are maybe different names of a different forms, right? That becomes your EDC system, electronic data collection system. It's just like you go to bank, you say that, ma'am, I want to open an account. They will give you different form. Now you go with your grandmother, say that I want to withdraw funds. They will give you different form. That is just equal to your EDC system. Then it will become a database because it is getting pooled in Biostat. Then Biostat team will come. Biostat means your SAS or programming team. Programming team has very, what you say that, importance these days. They are playing big role. So they can analyze, and then medical writing team will start working on a writing clinical study report. Clinical study report is one example. Then publication team will be publishing papers and other many things. Now I am taking very small little pause just to understand. Have you got an idea? Because this is crux. This is your CDM. Have you got an idea that? Very nice, Saroj. Okay. I hope it is clear, right? So goal is to understand the basics. So now what is clinical trial data life cycle? And especially what we wanted to see the CDM team preview, right? Today our focus is this team, CDM team. Now design. First thing is, now in this last slide, I told you that there is a blood collection form, there is a vital sign form, screening form, blah, blah, blah. Now, who will design this form? Our very own CDM team will design. They design, they edit, they check. Now, how they will design that we have to prepare a blood collection form based on your protocol. Suppose example, protocol says that, you collect saliva and stool sample. So they need to prepare stool collection form or saliva collection form, whatever it is. If it is saying protocol say collect 2 ml of blood, then it will prepare that form, correct? So it will also add that limits also. Suppose example, age is, we are working on infants, less than 45 days, child to be included. So in ICF, they will give this limit. If it is saying that age bracket is 18 to 60, female only, then it will be a case report form will be prepared like that. Then, so that why this is done? So that who will capture the data? Our operation team. Working on a site, correct? They are the one who are capturing the data. data entry and site via EDC, electronic data capture. Suppose example, I am working in a lab, I will be having access to stool sample form only or saliva sample form only. There is another vital sign check is maybe a doctor or a physician, you can say, mostly physicians are said, doctors are hardly addressed in clinical trials. Physicians, we generally say physician. So they will be having access to vital. Hmm? I won't be having access, controlled. So that is your electronic system. Now validate, edit, check, and queries. Hmm? Source data verification. SDV, source data verification, correct? That will be validated. Clean. Clean means, suppose example, here it says stool sample collection, collect sample within 8 hours, 8 hours of consent, correct? This is what our protocol say, or this is what our SOP says, correct? Within 8 hours of consent. Now consent taken 11 a.m. And now suppose example, due to 11 a.m. today is 5th June. Now because of some reason, maybe this sample is collected on next day, 6th Jan, 10 a.m. Now system will automatically give you a query, correct? Okay, then this is beyond a window. Window is 8 hours. You have collected after a window. Now operation team will reply to this. There may be some reason or blah blah, or this 11 a.m. date was incorrect. Whatever so the reason is, or this date is correct or time is correct, maybe this is 10 p.m. on the same day, whatever the reason is, or it is a mistake. So that is a cleaning of your data. You close the query. When all the queries are closed, that database is locked. Why with this locking is so important? Locking is important because after that, no one is able to edit the data. Once you are not able to edit the data, then only it goes for analysis. Because if people are continuously, suppose example, I done the analysis, as team done the analysis, they applied all their statistical techniques and everything, and now I am going backward and changing a data, then they have to redo it. There are certain rare incident when you can unlock the data and change the things, but they are rare to rarest. You have to give a valid solid reason. Suppose example, at time of analysis only you identified some critical error, so you have to go back and correct it, right? But otherwise normally it is not allowed to edit the data. So this is like a cycle of a clinical trial data. It's very easy. Just take a look at this slide. This is the crux of our today's session. All right, so I was just closing the door because of rain. Okay, what is electronic data capture system? Little more in detail. So let me see there is any question. Okay, very nice. Yes, yes, you are right. Right in that. They are the one. And anyone at a site, nurses, investigators, co-investigator, anyone who works on a site, they are the one who are responsible to collect the data. So EDC system is a computerized platform used to collect clinical trial data directly in an electronic format, replacing the paper case. So this is the definition of your EDC, that we just wanted to get over the paper. Because we wanted to make the thing faster, cleaner, and more traceable. So first step is you design the ECF. RCGMT, then you run it also in a real time just to check that everything is fine so that errors can be flagged out. Multi-user access, you know. Now think about paper. Paper CRF. Site is completing. Say example, May they have entered the data. May 2026 they entered the data. Okay? Now monitoring is June first week. Monitoring. Now monitors will take one copy and share with the sponsor. Maybe they will scan it, see the work also. So in a May site entered the data, monitoring happened in June, and then they take one copy and share with the sponsor. So at least for 1 month, this is I'm saying even at the fastest timeline. Generally, it is gap is more than that. For one month or over 1 month, sponsor do not able to see your data. Where is an electronic form? Today, say example 5 June, we entered the data in database. Sponsor can access. Any person from a sponsor side, he or she will be able to see the entries. So real time you will be able to see the data. That's what multi-user access. CRO sponsor, they will be simultaneously able to see or trace the data. Cloud hosting, it can be placed on a cloud. So in case of a fire and other natural situations, data is safe. Now, from where to where we moved, how this evolution has happened. We were here many years back. Major problem is manual transcription from a source to paper. Now, just example, doctor written some prescription and I am entering in a CRF. There can be error, right? Data entry, double key entry, and then reconciliation. Queries mailed, faxed, weeks to resolve, or even months, I will say. Delay visibility into data quality, high risk in transcription error. So now there is a source. Source is, say, doctor's notes. Doctor's notes. Now, they earlier, even when I was working with WHO, because it is not possible for us to fill the so many case report forms, right? Then they kept 10 to 12 people just for data entry. Their job role was that they were just checking our source document, they were entering data entry. Although there is a double entry. Double entry means same, like a date I have entered 5 July, I will re-enter again. That is a double entry. So because manual transcription, they used to take a lot of time. Now, electronic database, direct or nearly direct entry, often at a bedside. Even a doctor, they are asked to, they are given like you iPads and other, easy portable stuff so that they can enter data in real time quickly. Real time edits also catches error instantly. Catches errors instantly is that, suppose example, we have given this principle, age bracket we have given. Suppose example, by the calculation, it is becoming 60 years, 2 days, just days only. Difference is 2 days. Normally, our manual calculation will miss this, but system will flag it red. Suppose example, by mistakenly, I am adding instead of 2025, I am adding 2026. This happens, system will flag. It will reduce error instantly. Right? Electronic query is resolved in days, not weeks. Live, it will also show me a dashboard, like 5 patients are recruited, 10 patients are recruited. Or suppose example, we have to take some blood sample, some visit is due. This will give me an idea. Audit trail, suppose example, on a paper, I have written 5, I am changing to 6 July, and I am I don't want to owe this error. I am not signing it. But in the system, it will show that who changed it, at what time I have changed. So audit trail will be there. So what is the key component of EDC systems? Case report forms, electronic case report forms. So they are study specific and data entry scheme. As per study, they are designed. Edit check engine, these programmers or CDM team, they add the limits. They add the logic automatically so that it flag the ranges, consistency, missing data issues. Do you know when online we fill some form, there are hysteric on some that unless you don't enter this data, you won't be able to move ahead. Like that. That is automated logic checks. Query management. It tracks the discrepancies automatically. Role-based access. So if you want to limit access, okay. For this, for example, there is some SAE form. Very important for sites, SAE form. Maybe you want to give access to investigators and co-investigators for some reason. Or there are certain forms you want to give access to CRA, data manager. Basically, you can assign the access. Audit trail will be there. Very important. Auditors like reporting and dashboard because of modern technology, because of AI. So the dashboard will be built. Dashboard thing is very important. Now, suppose example, we take the example of our 15 initial participants or phase one, right? Now we recruited this over 2 months. Now each of these patient has to visit every week. Now one is manual way, we will be tracking, okay, patient number 1 has to come in this week, patient number 2 will have to come in this week. Whereas dashboard will flag it. Okay, participant 3 visit due on 2nd July. Like that. If the 2nd July visit didn't happen, it will show an error. Right? System integrations, so it will talk to other systems also. So you need not to re-enter data again and again. Security and validation. There will be a secure system, e-signatures and other things, so that no external attacks on our data. No one will be able to steal your data. Now, there are certain systems, right? Platforms, those are used today. One is this Medidata. It is widely used. Another is Oracle Clinical One. Not very common. I have not seen in my last 2 organizations, but it was earlier, it was very popular. Viva Vault CDM, very popular. Because of Viva Vault, Viva Vault has another systems also. So it is kind of an integration. So TMF is maintained in a Viva Vault, mostly by leading sponsors. So they have also developed the CDMS also. Kester, EDC, Open Clinical. But out of these 3, these are the 2. They are the leading one. So now if we wanted to see what is the role of clinical data management system in a clinical trials, it is the core. CDM is the core of your system, because you are here, you are designing ECRF, then maybe you will be, because you will be working on AE forms also, you will be working on SE forms also, you will also be dosing of a patient or a participant also, right? So you will also integrate these ERFs with the metadata terminology and technology. Then query management system. If there is some discrepancy, some error is there, system will flag automatically. Data cleaning and validation. Then once everything is done, you will log the data and see in a paper form what is very how this stands out. In a paper form, one will be able to take out paper and edit it. No one will be able to know it. But here it is locked. System will not allow you to edit. And then finally, statistical output. So this is the role of your CDMS in clinical trial. This I have explained, but just kind of a revision, quick revision. Site, patient or a participant, then data entry. It is same that we have taken very first example of 15 patient. EDC entry, then it will become a database. Data cleaning will happen because you will resolve the queries. Then biostat team, they will analyze it. Then it will be ready for a CSR or a submission. Now, this is one thing I wanted to show you that how the revision has taken place. Regulatory landscape is also important. This you need not to pay attention because you are just a student. Yes, here is the place where you can focus. Earlier we were having R2, now we having R3. Now focus here more. First of all, they emphasized on a computerization. So they embedded throughout the main guide. Earlier, we were not having this thing in the guidance that where guideline, like this is your GCP, GCP R3, right? So where in the guideline, within guideline, they were saying that you have to work on computerization of a site, try to collect the data in a computer, all that. But now the GCP only saying it. Data governance. Data governance means how you are overall, checking the data. They have given a dedicated section 4. I will strongly encourage you download this guideline and read it. Quality approach, risk proportionate, quality by design. What does this mean? Anyone? Last time I have explained. Suppose you have a 4 sites. One site, maybe Delhi site, number of errors are high. So maybe now earlier they were saying blanket approach, like every 15 days you do one monitoring visit. Now we know that our Delhi site is doing more errors. What does that mean? Maybe the monitoring has to be more at that place. Correct? So they are saying risk based, technology neutral, e-consent, variable, DCT is that decentralized clinical trial. Remote monitoring. You need not to visit this site every day, every other day. You need not to travel. Just because we are having a data to access to dashboards instantly. Monitor can in their office they can check the data, right? Because of our technology. Now they also emphasize that it is sponsors accountability, even when outsourced to CRO and vendor. No doubt you have outsourced that, okay, monitoring will be done by this CRO or that vendor. No, explicit, clear responsibility lies with the sponsor. So this is kind of governance. You capture a data, you validate the data, you will check the audit trail, you will transfer the data, it will get stored to cloud, right? And even you also have to maintain a SOP that how your IT team is working. Because you and me, we are science students. We don't know about cloud and all that stuff. So our IT team will be helping here, right? What is their SOP? When they are taking this retention of data, once in for 24 hours, how it is? Retention, destruction, right? Once your time period is over, like 5 years after marketing authorization, whatever. So what is data governance principle? That data integrity, traceability, and security. So this is what data governance is. You can't say that I lost the data. some other phishing, because of phishing attack, we lost our data. No. Clear investigator, read, write access to rights, segregation of blinded data where applicable, documentation processes, not informal but ad hoc practices. So these are the reason why computerization system, they are taking a central stage. They are gaining lot of access, a lot of popularity. One is validated state. So because computer, they can validate things instantly. Periodic review, they allow review at any time. Access, you can control the access. Suppose example, you came to know that this person is not, you don't want to give an access to particular thing to that person. You can stop the access within minutes. But for paper, it's not possible. Cloud, you can store it on a clouds, right? This you can leave it. More a IT thing. Okay, so now another focus is on risk proportionate. Rather than following one standard approach, quality by design oversight. So you should be focused, identify risk. Where is the risk more? Like suppose example, you are doing a phase 1 study. That means risk is higher. For what? Patient safety. So you will adapt approaches like that. You can minimize this risk because we have identified this. Suppose example, you are doing a trial in infants. Again, risk is more. Correct? So you have to design. Then how you are going to mitigate? Suppose example, phase 1, risk is high. What are the steps you are going to take? Build quality in a protocol. You must have, you need to assure within a protocol only that how you can reduce this risk. Mitigate means how you can lower down this risk. Monitoring plans. What are your monitoring plan? Maybe because the risk is high, you are assigning this study to more experienced person. Correct? And suppose example, you are doing a study on infants. Risk is high. To whom? To even life of a child. Right? So normally we are saying 24-hour is hospitalization. But you don't want to take a risk with a child, infant, not even a child, infant. Right? You are saying in a protocol, 6 hour is our hospital definition of a hospitalization. Like if the child is not feeling well, 6 hour he or she is in hospital, it will be considered hospitalization. Normal cases definition is 24 hours. Because we are thinking risk is high, so we are changing our protocol accordingly. And suppose example, you are working on oncology trial. Oncology trial. Mostly people dealing with a very bad health. Person is already in hospital. So you will adapt definition accordingly. Monitoring proportionality. If it is a high risk, you will be assigning more resources. If it is low risk, you will be assigning less. One example, till the time consenting is happening, they assign more monitors, study monitor. Once consenting, recruitment is over, they pull few of a monitor, they give less resources because now the main risk is gone. So you have to continuously adapt. That is risk proportion. Now continuously adapt, I'll give you another example. Suppose example, there is some major big issue on your site. Number of deaths are more, SAEs are more. Maybe they have to increase the frequency. Maybe they need to do a ad hoc audit. Audit means senior resource they are investing. So that's all risk based. The moment you see the risk is high, you put more effort. How sponsors are adapting R3? Almost explained. One is they are training their teams. They are also upgrading their systems. Formal data governance, they're putting more effort on a data governance. Periodic system reviews, vendor oversight, they're hiring vendors. rewriting SOPs because E6 got revised. We also have to update the SOP. So, what are the modern technologies getting involved in these days, especially after AI? One is e-source document, e-consent. You can use multimedia, audio, video consent. You can take a consent via, this video. Patient reported outcomes directly via apps, via watches, all that decentralized clinical trials. You remove visits, home health checkups. You can check with the patient or a participant over a call. You need not to call that participant to a clinic. You will be calling only when it is needed. So basically, it is getting aligned with today's other systems. And how AI and machines, they are helping in the data management. Little advanced for yourself, but I think you should know anomaly detection. What does this mean? If there are unusual data patterns, this was not possible earlier because now we are having a dashboard. If there is some unusual data patterns, system can flag us, outliers. Earlier, if you wanted to do this, you need lot of manual effort. Now system will do automatically because of AI. Automated query generation. Intelligent edit check, reduce manual query writing workflow. Predictive site risk scoring. This is very interesting happening because of AI. Analytics, for example, this site has already done phase 2 trial, phase 3 trial, phase 4 trial earlier. You could take their previous data and you can predict where they can do errors. So the monitors can pay attention there. Isn't it interesting? Right? Earlier it was not possible. You won't be able to think about it. That based on your past record, we can, predict your future score. NLP for medical coding or this you can as of now leave, with a little advanced. Yeah. Mostly programming team they are, but these three things you can apply it any place. I will say that you should know if you're working in not only CDM, even as a CRC, if you're working, you should know all these ALCOA principles, plus. I am not going in detail because you guys know A is attributable, O is, let's go this way in a rhythm. A is attributable, L is legible, that it's readable, permanent. Now, because we are working mostly in electronic, this is mostly taken care. Because when you are working on a paper, then it was like writing is not clear. Like I am writing 7 like this, right? Sometime if I'm writing in a very hurry, it can be read as 1 unless I'm not crossing it. Correct? So this is not legible. Contemporaneous recorded at time when it is happening in a real time. Original, it should be original, accurate, complete, consistent, enduring, and available. So you pay, these are very, just meaning I have told you about them, each word, but you should know one example of each. So this is how compliance landscape look like. We are following, of course, GCP comes very first, 21 CRF part 11. This is followed, for EU, this is the followed, and regional privacy law. Suppose example, India has some specific EDC system related rule and regulation, we have to follow that. That is regional, or you can say the local or national. So, will you try this? I have given a clue on this also. Suppose example, you are working on phase 3 oncology trial across 40 global sites. Very easy. Phase oncology trial are having many sites. Even I have seen 100 sites in one of our trial. Was running only, EDC with limited audit trail granularity. So audit trail was possible, but not limited. No periodic revalidation process. A sponsored GCP audit conducted again against R3 expectation. Now focus is R3. So they found metadata changes were logged, but no one was assigned to review them. EDC vendor last system validation 4 year old. CRO managed data transfer had unclear ownership of data quality. Now, this is your discussion question. As a sponsor, data management lead, what 3 actions would you prioritize to bring the trial data system alignment with R3? So, all these things, 4 year validation, other things, they have answers, clues for you. What you will be thinking. Answers are correct. What else? These answers are written in a sample response. I know that because I thought that this is little difficult. What else they can do? This is the biggest problem. 4 year old validation. Now validation should happen again and again at a frequent times, right? If they have changed the metadata, see metadata has changed, there must be some reviewer, means QCer, who has validated it. Okay, now test this. That case study is okay. Now try to answer these. What is the main difference between paper CRF workflow and EDC workflow? What is the difference? Think about it. Write the answer. What is the main difference between paper CRF workflow and EDC workflow? We have studied it. Okay. Yes. Yes. And manual issues, manual errors will be much more, right? In a paper, easiest will come to your mind first. In a paper, when you're working with the paper, there will be chances when you're transcribing the data, errors can happen much more. Electronically, you can take care. Now, next thing, name 2 things in R3 added and were not core part of R2. Just 2 things. Those are added in R3 but not in R2. We have studied 7 or 8. On 1 or 2 points, I have emphasized a lot. I showed you the comparison table, right? Quality approach, computer system, computerization, decentralized clinical trials, guys, risk proportionate, right? There are so many. I don't know, energy is little less today. I can show you this. This is the difference. Correct. See, risk proportional, quality wise, by design, technology, e-consent, DTC, remote monitoring, accountability with sponsor, right? So next question. Okay, let me give you what is the purpose of treatment. This is easiest one. Can you try what is the purpose of periodic review for computerized system under R E6 R3? What is the purpose of periodic review? Periodic review from time to time. Why we are doing? Something we have studied very importantly. No one has given. Guys, validate. We have to check that our system is working correctly or not. That's simple. Validation. Okay, I am giving you, I can understand sometime it happens. Note down all these three questions. Question number 4, question number 5, very easy. Question number 6 is so easy. AIML can support, dashboard and all those things. Right answer to these, we will, just note down these questions with yourself. After the class, spend some time, because the idea of these questions is to bring your focus what we have learned. So just note down these three questions. In our next class we will discuss this, no problem. Okay, this is the final slide. EDC system have replaced the paper. Now, this has become backbone of a modern clinical data. R3 has embedded computer systems, data governance, metadata expectation in core GCP standards. Earlier, nowhere it was written. Sponsors are adapting through SOPs, revalidation system, and formal data governance. Data governance is nothing, is a checking. AI, e-source, e-consent, decentralized clinical trial are reshaping how we are entering the data. Alcoa principle, they are a practical approach, right? So that's all from today. I will request you guys pay attention to these three questions, 1, 2, and 3. After the class, spend some time. At least, after every class, because now you have an access to AI and everything, at least write a summary of your learning. In today's class, what you have learned, write a summary about it. That will be more than sufficient for you. Okay, guys, take care. Have a happy Sunday. Bye.